folks, welcome to our Chidemo update. So I thought in this video I'm going to give you guys an update on what I've been doing, and then we'll go have a look at some of the things I've been doing to the Land Yacht, and we'll do some driving and charging demos, and hopefully that'll be a video. So anyway, when we last left the Chidemo series, I reported that we could charge at the AeroVironment brand of charger, but not at all at several other brands. So some investigation that I did yielded one data sheet for one manufacturer's charger, which stated that opposed to doing the Chidemo specified 50 to 500 volts range, which would have perfectly happily encompassed the Land Yacht's 177 volts, this particular brand was 200 to 500 volts, and the charger in question was also of the dual or triple mode types that do AC 43 kVA, CCS and Chidemo. So I kind of thought to myself, well, if one of these type are doing it that way, chances are the rest are as well. So I looked at what would be involved in just getting my chin over the bar at 200 volts in the Land Yacht. And the answer to that question is quite a bit of work. So that's one of the reasons you haven't seen a video from me in the last few weeks, is that although I've been kind of quite serene from this part up, I've been paddling away mightily underneath. So what would it take to get our chin over the bar? Well, the short version is about 10 to 12 cells. Recall that the Land Yacht uses the Calb CA180 FI cell, which is a big beast of a thing, and we had 50 of them in there. So 10 cells, could we squeeze them in? Yes, it was quite a bit of work, as you'll see in some of the clips. I didn't film a lot of it, it was just metal bashing, cutting, welding, painting, sizing stuff up. It's just doesn't make for very interesting video. So long story short, I suppose, I had 4 cells kind of available to me. They were in the yacht for running the 12 volt systems, because up until now I've avoided DC to DC converters a bit like the plague. I have yet to find a good one, so I just didn't bother, and we ran the 12 volt systems in the Land Yacht from a string of 4 CA180 cells charged by a separate mains powered charger. For the last year and a half that's just been absolutely fine. So a few very fortuitous things happened. Came across a chap in the UK, Richard Bebbington I think was his name, that was actually looking for a DMOX 645 controller, and I said to him, well, I don't have a DMOX 645, but I have all the PCBs out of one, if that would be any use to you. So we kind of got talking, and I noticed that he had some stuff for sale. So we ended up doing a trade of the DMOX 645 cards for a Vicor Megapack with I think 8 5-volt 40 amp modules in it, and Richard kindly provided me with the PFC version of the Megapack casing so that it would run from basically my 200 volts. So I got that and I installed it in the car, and it ran fine from the existing 50 cell pack. And I also contacted Anna Kloppenberg at New Electric, and Anna told me that he had 6 CA180 cells available, which he very kindly supplied to me, so thanks a lot, Anna. So what's been going on over the last few weeks is I've been pretty much getting these 10 cells installed in the car, getting them balanced, getting them married into the pack, and just today actually we did our first test drive with the 60 cells, and I called to my local AeroVironment charger where I successfully charged at 120 amps, no problem, and we were getting slightly above 25 kilowatts at that stage. So that was all. So why don't we have a look at some of the clips that I've made, and you'll see how I'm getting on. But the bottom line is now that the real acid test for this has to be me going to the other manufacturers' charging stations and seeing if, now that we just have our chin over the 200 volt mark, that we will actually be able to charge. Now 60 cells at nominal 3.2 volts is 192 volts, but we tend to run slightly higher, around 3.3 to 3.35 volts when we're at a fairly high state of charge. So I think I will just make it. If not, and if someone knows where I could get 2 or 3 extra CA180 FI cells, then please let me know. They seem to be very scarce in this part of the world. So, okay folks, as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and check out those clips, and we'll be back soon with some more fast charging action. Alright folks, you're just catching us here welding in the last of our racking for the additional cells. So without further ado, let's make some sparks. Got it tacked in place. Just going to go ahead and check the fit of a cell there, just to be sure. That's pretty good. Don't want them too tight, don't want them too loose. Going to go ahead and weld that up. Paint it, and we should be all set. Should pretty much be us. I'm going to do a sensible amount inside of the material here. Just don't have to cause us problems with the cells, but that said, I can probably actually weld up the front side without any problem because we don't have the cells up that far, so let's go ahead and do that. going anywhere. So, yeah, that's not bad. And it won't be going anywhere. So, yeah, this is coming up now to the last bits of the racking that we're going to need to install our 10 extra cells. So I suppose the next thing to do is get a bit of paint on this thing. So let's go ahead and do that while it's still hot. Spray paint on the cells at this rate. There we go. So okay. Next part of this puzzle now is we'll be installing 3 and 3 here. So we're going to take our 4 CA180 cells here that are currently running our 12 volt systems, and we're going to replace them with our 4 Thunder Sky 100s and get the 12 volts back up. Then I can finish installing these cells here. We can get them wired up and oh bloody paint. And look at getting them balanced up and connected to the pack. Yay! Alrighty, so now we have our Thunder Sky 100s installed here for our 12 volt systems, and I have moved my CA180s we previously had. So if we come around at this angle, give you guys a view of the 10 of the best. I managed to get 4 in here nicely, just into this kind of alcove where I believe the original CD changer was installed on the car. Bit of extra simple metal work here has given us some racking to install the additional 6, while still giving me sufficient access down here to my AC distribution box, and it doesn't really impede me doing anything that I need to do here. So let's go ahead and get these cells strapped up. So before we connect in our 10 extra cells now to the main traction battery in the car, I've got a couple of things I need to do. The first is that I'm trimming the cells to where I want them to be. As I said, this is not a bottom balance. A bottom balance on this pack would have the car off the road for a month. So what we're doing is we're trying to do a best possible compromise here, which is to have, as we said, the two sections, the main 50 cell and our additional 10 cell, bottom balanced, but both fully charged before we connect them in. So we're just now doing that here with our 10 cell pack. It's not top balancing, it's not really bottom balancing, it's more of just getting them into a matched state, which is hopefully going to work for me. As I said, I really don't have the ability to take this car off the road for a month and bottom balance the entire pack. So that's kind of where we're at, folks. We have the cells in, which is the main thing. and it's just a question now of making some cables once we get everything connected up. So I won't let you guys watch paint dry for too long, and we'll be back when we're getting these babies connected into the car. Okay, so as we can see, we have our 10 cells installed, 4 here and 6 here. Now we have space here for 3 more if indeed they prove to be required. So I got to make a polycarbonate cover to go on there just to cover the cell terminals. That's no big deal. Over here, hopefully that's going to come out. We can see where I have the 4 Thunder Sky 100 amp hour cells installed for all systems. They're there because I don't trust DC to DC converters, and I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road if things go bad, which they frequently do for me. Okay, so in here at the back, just behind the controller, we have our Vicor Megapack installed. We've also got a diode module in there, combining 2 sets of our 5 volt modules, giving us 2 15 volt 13.8 amp supplies, and the diodes combine those supplies for us and drop us down to about 14 volts. So pretty straightforward, just some bracketry, other nonsense in there, nothing really much to see. So we got that guy in. Big thanks to Richard in the UK for that. So that's our first foray into DC to DC converters. Alright, so we're back and we're still getting gas. We got 30 amp hours to go. Certainly going in there. My Dewey with the demo debugger sketch is logging away merrily. I did get false trip there just on a isolation fault. I'm gonna say that's possibly the DC to DC because we are only switching 1 pole, so I may find myself needing a couple of more contactors. Jesus Christ. Really? That's the best we can do, is it? $20.15, like. I should be logging from the 505 as well, really. See if I can set that up. I might just be able to do it on the fly. Oops, I've just killed it. Have I killed it? I've killed it. I've managed to kill it. I just had to touch off a flipping USB cable and I've killed it. Oh boy. Well done, Damien. Teach me to mess with these things anyway. So let's go log, stop. See if I can restart it. Down. Nope, it's back. Alright.
Oh, it just stopped. Okay, it's good enough for me anyway. It looks like we stopped there. There's a current mismatch, so that's okay. We're pretty much gassed up anyway, so I'm going to stop logging and shut down the computer and head back to base. It's time for some lunch, sports fans. Thanks for being with us.